Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'll be playing some more Wuchang Fallen Feathers. Be continuing my playthrough. This is my new game plus playthrough, of course. Just got through the snow area, beat the boss, well, both bosses actually. And instead of going over to face the madam in more snow, I'm just gonna go back to the Hills Watch area and go down to the swamp. And I'm gonna do that section first, then we'll double back on ourselves. So I'm just going to go through the graphic settings, playing at a resolution of 3840 by 2160, no depth of field, no motion blur. Advanced graphics, DLSS at the quality preset, using FrameGen 2X just to help with latency, because that actually does help. Post-processing and everything else is at extreme or highway highest. So that is it for the in-game settings. I've got my Nvidia on-screen display on show, so you can see in-game statistics, frame rate, 1% lows, GPU utilization, temps, core clock, GPU voltage, GPU power draw, GPU core clock, CPU usage, and of course game latency as well. So pretty much got all bases covered, and this is a far less intrusive way of doing it than my usual OSD. You may notice my cards at stock. I only use stock settings while live streaming. Okay, so let's find this swamp. So the game just got an update to 1.51, so everything had to be recached, so you might see a few frame spikes here and there, but generally that kind of peters out after a while. Trying to think if I've gone to the right place. Yeah, I have, so trying to think which way is which now. I think it's this way actually. Let me just double check. So there's a secret way you cut through like a cart, and then you can go down this ladder. So yeah, it's on the other side. We'll go up these ladders. It might be this way, I'm not sure. I can see CIT Porn, connect with me on Discord so I can stay up to date and support you at B3 at Tick. I don't really use Discord, to be honest, so if you want to speak to me, X is probably better. All of my social media is in the description box. So just so you guys know, I am simultaneously streaming to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So you can choose whatever is best for you. But this is what I was looking for. I'm just going to put on the light just in case it's dark down there. Okay, let's go. Marco Radeka says, bang, got a question for you. So I've been trying to dial in my 9950X 3D, and for some reason CTD1 refuses to go even below -5. My CTD0 happily goes -25. Any tips? Honestly, no, that is a curious predicament you're in. I haven't seen a sample that doesn't do more than -15, even on all core. That's strange. All I can suggest is with the F-Clock Max, rather than just going -200 like everyone, try doing -100 on the F-Clock Max, seeing how that works. Sometimes with mine, what I found is if I put -200, there are times where my chip will boost to beyond 5.9 gigahertz and it will cause some stability issues sometimes. So what I've put down is the F-Clock Max down to 150. That way it never boosts over 5.9 gigahertz and it always remains stable. So try reducing the F-Clock Max, see how it goes. I'm just turning off frame gen. I've been seeing some flickering. I'm not too sure if frame gen is the culprit, so rather than keep seeing this flickering, I'm just going to turn it off for now and see. How was this? I hate these things. They just summon all of these spirits and they just get in the way. I can still see that flickering. I'm not too sure what that is. I've never seen that before in this game. A little bit distracting. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, I got 2 paths I can go. I could hear that monk, that guy. Marco Radeka says, the thing I've noticed, even reducing the F clock, it won't really go past 5.6 in my intensive CPU scenarios. Most clocks will settle at 545, 53 on average. I did try. Okay, so when you say it won't, the CTD1 won't do more than -5, what happens? Does it crash in like Cinebench? Does it crash in other stress tests? What is the issue? Because yes, that is an intensive CPU test, so if it's crashing in that situation, then I guess the only suggestion I've got is there's a chance your chip needs more voltage, and the only thing you can really do there is the per core basically undervolting. So you have to test each core individually and see which one's the limiting factor. I don't think your whole CCD is the issue. I would go to CCD1, start with the top with -10, seeing if it crashes with core 0, then core 1, keep putting everything to -10 until it crashes, and then whatever core crashes, then I would leave that one at -5 and put everything else above that. I think you just got a case of having some really bad cores, maybe 1 or 2. You're gonna have to do a lot of trial and error. It's gonna be a long process, but there is ways to extract more performance out your chip. You just have to spend a bit of time. Okay, where does this lead me? I need to go and speak to that monk, because that's an important part of the story. Deal with all of this. Don't want any surprises. This guy's strong. Stronger than your average enemy. Mark Karadeka says thanks for the tips and thoughts, no problem, you're welcome. See where this leads me. Okay, I know where this is. Ah, that was a massive frame spike, but it is a new area. I gotta quickly go back on myself just to speak to that monk guy. It's really important I speak to him. When I first came in, I heard his voice, so it's probably the other direction I should have taken. Oh, that's one long ass ladder. It's one deep ass cave. The thing is, with the Microsoft Windows App Edition, the Xbox app, it locks the game down. I can't even use mods. I tried to access the Win64 folder, but it just says like you can't even use reshade. It basically just says you know, no permission allowed or whatever. So it's like you can mod the Steam version, you can mod the Epic version, but the Windows Microsoft Xbox app version, or Game Pass version, whatever you want to call it, is a little bit more locked down. So it's a bit annoying. Boxen4 says, hey Bang, what you think about this game? You already finished it one time, aren't you? Yeah, I finished it once already. This is my second playthrough. I enjoyed the game. I like the game. I think it's a good game. It's a solid Souls type game. I very much like the what is it called, the Skyborn Might kind of mechanic. So the more you fight, if you evade, if you deflect or parry, or the more combos you do, you get more power, and there's like stages to that power, and you can use that power to do more stronger attacks, use spells. I think that mechanic is pretty awesome. So the fighting on this game is really, really good. It does require there is some thought behind it, and you can make some really, really deadly combinations with your builds. So in that respect, I think it's a little different. It brings its own little twist, and it's nice that someone's tried to kind of freshen things up a little bit, not just strongest weapon, best armor, fat roll, slow roll. It's not all about that stuff on this game. Some weapons can't even let you parry, so it's not parry focused either, and you don't need to worry about you know, weight. I don't think weight is a mechanic on this game, which is that's a different thing. So yeah, it's interesting. DJ World Willy 06 says, how much was your PC? I think the one I'm using now, this one's about 5k, but all in, like, if you were to price it up individually for the components, so like with the custom water cooling, it's probably around about 5k, but it's something I built over time, so it never started off at 5k. It's like I built something basic, then I upgraded, sold, upgraded, and then here we are, you know what I mean? So you can go back on my channel and look. I used to have a water cooled R9 290 Intel i5 2500K basic Asus motherboard with 16 gigabytes of DDR4. I don't even remember what speed it was. Maybe DDR4 3200 megahertz, maybe 2600 megahertz. So, you know, I didn't just start this and just buy the best. I had to work my way up. So I don't really care how people feel about you know, playing games on the best hardware. You got to treat yourself, man. Anyway, let me speak to this dude. Did I finish because I'm berserk? I never bought that game.
With clearer thoughts than those mindless beasts. It seems you're not like the others. Here, take these. For days I trailed a monster. It led me here, where illusions grow more frequent. I must be close to its nest. This here is an old battleground, grave to many a warrior. That monster reanimated them in an attempt to thwart me. A foolish ploy. These tricks only delay the inevitable. A refugee camp lies just up ahead. I implore you not to linger. That monster is after me, and the area's rife with danger.
Okay, so Marco says, yeah, now imagine living in Denmark with 25% tax on top of tariffs, paid like 7k. That's crazy, man. I don't know, man. I like PC. Then again, I've got more than one PC, so I guess if you look at even my streaming PC, that's got a Intel i9-4900KS, Asus ROG Maximus Apex, 48 gigabytes of DDR5 7200, which I run at 7800, and I'm also running a 1200 watt power supply, custom water cooling, and yeah, that PC is probably worth around 3.5, maybe 3.5. So even my recording PC is editing and streaming PC is pretty beefy. But they do exactly what I want them to do, and it's worth the money in my opinion. Volks and4 says, what do you think? I already spoke about the game. Says become insanely demanding in 4K Ultra, like Mafia, Old Country, 5090 barely keeps 60 FPS. I feel becomes 10%. What, in this game? No, I mean this game the 5090 can do native, no problem. It is demanding, but that's because of the Lumen and Unreal Engine 5. So it's got ray tracing built in, and that's something you can't turn off. You know, spare fault for the guys on the console. I was looking, what was I watching today on Digital Foundry? There's another Unreal Engine 5 game that recently got released, and they were showing, oh yeah, it was Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. That comes out, I think, next week. I'm going to be getting that. Just for nostalgic reasons, I really enjoyed that game. That's probably one of my favorite Metal Gear Solid games, Snake Eater. And it's funny because Snake Eater is basically the first one, even though it's called 3. It's a really good game. So I'm looking forward to playing that again. That's got Lumen as well, and the consoles struggle with that, so it's a bad time to be a console gamer if you're trying to play these Unreal Engine 5 games. This place is a maze, isn't it? I need to get back to that ladder that let me out of here. Now I can go about actually progressing with the game, now that I've spoken to that guy. Marco Rodeka says, oh, it's not speaking with me, it's speaking with someone else. Yeah, I keep seeing on these flashes. I don't know if it's something to do with this game since it's updated, because I wasn't getting these artifacts. I don't even know if they're artifacts, but I'm seeing these flashes. Gotta look into that. Man, how many ladders do they want me to climb up? Come on. If I end up at the start of where... Yeah, this is the right place, I think. Yeah, here it is. So, what I need to do is go and take this thing out, because it keeps summoning these weird spirits that keep coming and trying to kill you. So you gotta dash up here and kill that one. Now, of course, I know, but I understand you guys speak amongst yourselves, so I just... Reading comments can be distracting as it is, so when you're not speaking to me, it's definitely not wise to read it out. Oh, come on, man. I knew they were going to kick me off, but it's okay because the save point's literally just around the corner. So I'm just going to run back there and kill that thing, get back my red mercury. I don't have much red mercury on me anyway, so I don't really care too much about that. I do care about my my madness though. I need to get my madness back to maximum. Elder Scrolls 6, GTA 6, The Witcher 4. How many games are going to be demanding to rip through a budget PC? Yeah, I don't think a budget PC is going to have a great time with these newer games. You got to think a lot more and more games are now becoming next gen only. So now that that's happening, a lot of these budget PCs are getting found out. So, and what I mean by found out, that's like British slang for the jig's up, basically. You know, you can't just go along with the crowd anymore. We're looking at you individually and we're seeing your vulnerabilities. That's basically what I'm saying. A tip: you can buy items in the store and max your madness. Like, yeah, you can just use maddening incense as well. But yeah, I understand about the store. You just spend at the shrines and you get your madness back. So yeah, I'm very familiar with the mechanic. I've put a lot of hours into this game now. Do you prefer your AMD system or your Intel system? There's no... Obviously, my AMD system's better. The 9950X 3D is just... It's better than the 4900KS in every way. So, I like what's best. It's always been like that. I don't care who makes it. So you can't... Simply asking, oh, what do you prefer, Intel or AMD? No. Which one performs better? That's what I care about. Oh, I remember this guy. You gotta go up. You gotta go up and kill him. He's on the roof. It's a bit annoying to kill, but I can get him. Alright, I'm gonna go and get this guy. Gotta go on the cave. You gotta go on the a weird route to get to him, and I'm gonna go and do that now because these guys are gonna keep coming. Let's see you up. Shark Zoo says hello. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. What's going on over here? Kill that thing. Thing's annoying as hell. Will you play Metal Gear Solid Delta? You mean Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater? What is Metal Gear Solid Delta? I don't know what Metal Gear Solid Delta is. Anyway, this is the route you got to take to get to that guy on the roof. I'm going to deal with him accordingly. Did I go the right way? I'm not sure if I did actually. How many hours in that game? What game? What game are you referring to? Pavazo says, I have 4900KS and I am trying to tune it down. You recommend running stock BIOS? Thanks for the info, been watching you for years. I think, yeah, I think with your 4900KS, just... Sorry. Sorry, emergency services just going past. Didn't want that to come through. With the 4900KS, you can try and undervolt it a little bit, but honestly, that chip is so hot, there isn't really much you can do in the way of overclocking. The best thing you can do is try and undervolt it manually and hope for the best. Honestly, the 5.9 gigahertz boost and the 6.2 gigahertz max boost is perfectly fine. You don't really need any more than that. Best thing you can do is tweak your memory settings. Try to get the fastest memory you can stable, because as you know, the Intel memory controller loves fast RAM, and that's all you can really do with it. Keep it cool, undervolt it, and you know, you should have a good performing chip. But the 9950X 100 3D 100% is a better chip. I don't know why I keep getting these flickers on the screen. This wasn't, the game did get updated today. I'm not too sure if that's got something to do with it, but this wasn't my experience in my last stream, so I'm not too sure what's happening here. But it's kind of annoying. Okay, we're on the right track though. I think we're going to end up at the yeah, everyone's waiting down here for me. This is going to be like the refugee camp area. Yeah, I don't know what this flickering is about. It's like really, really annoying. I'm going to try locking my screen to 120 hertz. I'm going to put VSync on, see if that helps. Maybe it's got something to do with that. So let's see. Alright, speak to him again.
I came through the pass, and as I approached the forest, the illusions intensified. My long search has finally come to an end, and now my soul may find solace. You possess great strength. Will you join me in the forest to end this demon once and for all? Should I fall prey to bewitchment, stop me at any cost. I would not wish to be a pawn to darkness and cause havoc.
Yeah, I hope you are.
Excellent. Make your preparations, then let us reconvene in the woods.
So, Marco Radeka says, never gonna learn how to overclock memory reliably. Tried some presets, they all fail. Well, presets is not exactly the greatest way to do it. You need to use custom settings. I would recommend watching a few Buildzoid videos. He does really, really good kind of one-size-fits-all settings for both Intel and AMD platforms. I learned a lot from him, so I fully recommend actually our hardcore overclocking. That's what the YouTube channel is called, and the guy that does it is known as Buildzoid, so go and check him out. I'm sure you're already familiar with him. He does really, really good explanation. He literally knows what all of the settings do. I got no idea. I know what things like T-Raz, T4, and a few others, but he really, really knows what each setting does, so he's like a genius when it comes to that stuff. So he's the guy, man. You don't really need to listen to anyone else. Sharkzoo says, sorry, I missed a few comments. Volkson4 says, what is your top 5 favorite games of all time? You have to give me a minute with that. I'll give you your answer shortly. Let me think about that. Pavazos says, what monitor do you use? You can find my full description in the description box. You can find my full specs in the description box. Everything up to the Windows version I'm using, drivers I'm using, graphics card, water cooling, everything. All the details are there. Just go and check it out. But I'm using the LG C3 42-inch smart TV, 120 Hz, G-Sync compatible OLED screen. And for me, I've had a great time with it so far. Okay, let's go into the woods now. Okay, so my favorite games, in no particular order. but just my top 5 would be, and I'm more of a single player RPG is my favorite genre. So The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt will be my top 5. Let's see. You know what game I really enjoyed, which is a really strange one. I don't usually play JRPG RPGs like that, but Tales of Arise, that has one of the best companion systems I've ever seen in any game. So Tales of Arise somehow is in my top 5. Actually, I won't put it in my top 5, but it'll be my top 10. Let's expand the list a little bit. Tales of Arise, that's an RPG. Let's see. In terms of driving games, I would say on a PC, not on console, I would have to go with not Forza Motorsport 7 was my favorite driving game, not the new one. I'll just deal with this guy. He's pretty tough. Oh man, got my ass beat. Kind of got stuck under his... The view just felt a little bit weird being next to him. So I think the game's actually starting to get a little bit more increasingly difficult now. But so that's 3 games. Trying to think, what are the best games I've played, what I've really enjoyed personally. Kind of hard to think of all the games off by heart. Oh my gosh, how have I not got a save point? I should have really... This is going to take a while. Now, I'm just going to rush through this because I don't need to be dealing with all of these guys. Once I'm in a safe place, I'll continue making my list. Let's just run through here. I was in a refugee camp. There's meant to be a checkpoint there. Somehow I missed it, so that doesn't make sense. It's a good job I come back, so I missed this somehow. I've played Neo 1 and 2. They're good, but they're not... I wouldn't say they're in my top 10 or top 5. But they are good games. Damn. Getting loads of flickering on this, damn. I've updated to a new driver and I've updated to a new version of this game. And now I'm just getting loads of flickering now, which I never got before. So something's changed. I'm not too sure what's happened, but it's not good. Yeah, this is the wrong way. Let's go back. Find another way down. There's multiple ways to go down. Why is 1% so weird? One time it's 100 FPS, another time it's 60 FPS. Man, I don't know. Maybe it's like just frame spikes, isn't it? Like if a frame spike brings down the FPS all the way down to 5 FPS, that's gonna have a bearing on your 1% lows. But over time, your 1% lows will change and even out. Deal with this guy. Okay, I'm still trying to think of my list. Don't think I've forgotten your question. I'm just literally thinking, because I've never really thought about it like seriously, but now that I am, it's a bit more difficult. I know the game's pretty old, but I would say Final Fantasy X was one of my favorite games ever. It was the first Final Fantasy game with voice acting. I remember I skipped school to play that game, man. I was so into it. So yeah, Final Fantasy X on the PlayStation 2 is legendary for me. So that's 4 games I think I'm up to now. Right, let's go down here. Alright, let's try and change genre, because not all of my games are RPG, but RPG is my favorite genre. In terms of shooters, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, probably my favorite one. My favorite COD of all time, probably. So that's about 5. And Metalhead says UE5 is truly one of the most unoptimized engines in gaming. It's interesting you say that, but let's see how many games that you're familiar with. Let's just say, what's a game that we know runs pretty well? Let's say Stellar Blade, for example. That's on the Unreal Engine 4. Doesn't use any ray tracing, runs pretty well on everything. Now, you put Lumen software ray tracing as default, as the base global illumination and reflection model in that game, maybe we'll be having a different conversation about how optimized that game is. Suddenly it becomes very demanding and not optimized. We just gotta face the facts. When there's a game built with ray tracing from the ground up, you need a good PC. So a very easy one that's in my top 5 is Cyberpunk 2077, probably one of my favorite games ever. Absolutely love that game. So that's 6. What else? Oh, come on, man. Why does this thing... Oh, I see. I didn't get killed just by that. I got killed by that resurrected spirit of mine. I forgot that was going to be a 2-on-1 fight. So now I've got to get back to that same spot again, which is annoying. I really wish I just activated the checkpoint while I was at the refugee camp. I wouldn't have to go through all of this. But I'm just going to run as quickly as I can and get back to where I was as quickly as I can, because I know this is annoying you guys. It's annoying me as well, but hey, sometimes you die. Let's keep going. Alright, showed literally no stamina. You've spoken to me about power draw. I've already explained to you this. The 4900KX draws a lot of power. I mean, I'm not too sure what you expected when you bought it, but that chip is power hungry as hell. You're going to draw 150, 200, even more than 200 watts. Sometimes if you're using the extreme profile, that's just the way it is. You got to accept that. If you want efficiency, buy AMD. But if you're going to be on a Raptor Lake platform, just forget about it. You can do some undervolting, of course, but if you want to keep your 5.9 gigahertz boost, you're going to expect to have high power draw. Lumen is trash. I'm fully convinced now. Besides Lumen, don't use hardware cores, which makes it miles away from actual ray tracing implementation, not to mention the SE reflections that come with Lumen. Hey, look, I'm not saying it's the best implementation, but I'm just basically saying that's the reason why performance is so low. I would always prefer a hardware ray trace global illumination implementation over software, but I guess when the game's building from the ground up with ray tracing in mind, it at least wants to give you a version of ray tracing that the widest base of graphics cards are able to actually use. So it's trying to be more accommodating in that sense. I do think though, anytime you have software ray tracing, you should also have the toggle to use hardware, a hardware form of it as well, which would be a lot better. It's got to be like a checkpoint or something around here. So if I die again, I don't want to have to run back. So I'm just gonna have a look around this time. I mean, I really wish more games were built from the ground up with ray tracing, that so it becomes so normal that they they just start optimizing games to run ray tracing really, really well. He was happy about that. Gave him something. There's got to be a shrine around here somewhere. For reference, Talker 2. Yeah, here's the shrine I was talking about. This is what I needed to activate before. To my understanding, the actual issues with UE5 is Nanite and their streaming implementation, but Nanite is like one of the hallmarks of Unreal Engine 5. I mean, look how you've seen that Witcher 4 demo. I know you have. Without Nanite, you think they could do anything? They could create out such a detailed forest on the hardware budget that they've got. Nanite literally gives you the ability to have like really, really high quality looking textures or meshes, whatever you want to call it, without expending too many resources. So it's good, but it has its drawbacks as well. But I would rather a game with Nanite than not have Nanite.
Well, if it ain't the little lady herself. Let me guess, you heard about the rebel camp nearby and thought you'd score some loot, right? If you do find something valuable, don't forget your old pal, yeah?
Yeah, I'll keep you in mind, buddy. Don't worry. I'm getting sick to death of this flickering though. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know why it's flickering like this. I haven't got frame gen on, so it's not frame gen.
Come back soon.
I've got VSync on, so it's not just my graphics card exceeding my refresh rate. So I'm not too sure why it's flickering as much as it is, but it's not something that was happening earlier this week. So the only thing I can say that's changed is I've changed driver, so it might have something to do with that.
Greetings. The name's Magalhães. I've come all the way from Portugal to spread the word of our Lord. I journeyed here with another missionary, Bulio. But he lost his way, deceived by the devil's tricks. He held the belief that those adorned with feathers were messengers from the heavens. Such blasphemy. I tried to bring him back to the righteous path, but I failed. In the process, I lost my medicine case. If you happen upon Bulio, please tell him to return to me. The Lord will forgive him. Allah, what else can I do for you?
Okinoko, what resolution are you playing at? Plus, if you've used the DLSS4 transformer model, you would know it's not blurry. It's absolutely amazing. Amazingly sharp, especially with DLAA. So I don't know what resolution or what games you've been playing, but you can't tell me DLSS4 transformer model is blurry. That's false. That's not even factual. S119, well, 19911 says Mafia Old Country looks good. Yeah, it does. But apparently hell is stuttering. Some people, it depends on your configuration. I played it the other day. Actually, my last video, if you look at my channel, my last video was Mafia with the PC hotfix 2, and it ran completely smooth. So it all depends on your hardware. Some games even now don't like E-cores, so if you're using a CPU that's got a hybrid configuration like Raptor Lake or Alder Lake, then you may not have such a pleasant experience, but it all depends on your configuration at times. All right, let's try and get back some of my madness. Let's see how mad we are. We are 100%. We'll do. Okay, let's try and kill this thing this time. With RTX settings looks bad. What is RTX like? RTX is a lot of things. You're going to tell me that if I was to go to Cyberpunk 2077 right now, if I enable DLSS quality, DLSS4 quality with the transformer model, I enabled ray reconstruction, and I enabled frame gen, you're going to tell me it's going to be looking blurry? Get the hell out of here, man. What kind of settings are you using? You wouldn't even know. It looks amazing. Oh, come on, man. Why can't I beat this spirit? It's just like crazy strong. This is the first time I've started to die, and I think the game's actually, as far as my new game plus is, this is the first time the game's actually starting to show the enemies stronger than my previous playthrough. So now I've got to like seriously focus on my enemies, but at least this time I was smart enough to activate the checkpoint this time. So I'm gonna go back, have a showdown with that spirit, and hopefully I can win this time. To find a way out. Pavazos says, thoughts on the 59k liquid cooled card versus air cooled? Probably the wrong person to ask. If you're talking about AIO liquid cooled, then I'm not fond of those types of cards. Reason being, the pumps eventually go, and sometimes they're noisy. Ultimately, they work better than the air cooled to a point, and they're going to give you better average clocks. So if you're not into overclocking or doing any tweaking, you just want higher average boost clocks out of the box, and it's probably the way to go. And if you've got like space for 360 rad as well as one for your CPU, then yeah, then it won't be an issue. But I don't like AIO cooled cards, because when the pump fails, your graphics card dies, and there's really nothing more you can do about it. And you want to pray that your warranty is still intact. If you're talking about like cards with water blocks on it, then yeah, water cooled cards all the way. They're just better, of course. But the reason I won't water cool my 5090, there's multiple reasons why. Card costs just way too much money, so if it goes bad, I've voided my warranty and I'll be out $2.5 grand. Secondly, the water blocks are bloody expensive. I think they're like almost 300 quid just for a water block. And the third reason is, you guys know already, when the new graphics cards come out, I get it straight away. So why would I want to invest an extra 300 or so on a water block for a graphics card I'm not going to keep for more than 24 months? And fourth reason, I always sell my graphics cards, or most of the time I do, and trying to sell a water cooled card is a lot harder than trying to sell an air cooled card. So with all those things combined, you won't see me really water cooling graphics cards anymore. If EVGA was still around, because they're probably one of the only companies that I could disassemble the card and they'll still honor the warranty. Other than that, unless someone changes their terms and conditions, I won't be water cooling any of my graphics cards, especially when they cost as much as this card does. Yeah, I don't know what it is about these black screens. That one was a really bad one. But I might roll back to the previous driver, because this wasn't happening yesterday. Well, this wasn't happening earlier this week, so I think it's the Nvidia's broken something, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna try and win this fight. Hopefully I'll win. I've died too many times already. Let's go. Okay, I won this time. DLSS4 alone is amazing though. Okinoka says, yes, I do notice blur the image. I play close to my monitor DLSS with... Okay, what graphics card do you have, and what resolution do you play at? Because I'm curious now. Because you can't, like, DLSS4 transform model is amazing. I don't know what blurry stuff you're talking about, but it's not been my experience. Is there a brand would you go with? Anything that's cheaper? Cheers. I have owned a lot of brands. I've owned Palette, I've owned EVGA, I've owned Asus, I've owned MSI. What else have I owned? Sapphire, of course, but that Sapphire is AMD only, so I guess it doesn't really count too much. But my top brands, this is how I rank them. I think aesthetically, MSI and Asus do the best looking cards. Gigabyte sometimes does really good looking cards, but Asus always do the best BIOS, in my opinion. They usually come with all of these exclusive features that no one else seems to do. So we all know that Asus doesn't seem to be the best when it comes to customer service. There's been some complaints about that, but it's a little bit different depending on who your retailer is. Like one of my retailers in the UK is scan.co.uk, and they've got like a special agreement with Asus that if, for example, if my RTX 5090 was to go bad and I send it back to Scan, providing their in-house technicians confirm that the card is faulty and they can confirm that the card hasn't been tampered with, I would get a brand new card dispatched to me within 24 hours. So they get it, maybe it will take them 1 or 2 days to check it, and the day they find that there's an issue with the card, I'll get a new one sent to me immediately. Then they'll send the card back to Asus, and then they'll restock the retailer with a brand new card. I won't have to wait on that process. I completely bypass that process of waiting for Asus to fix it. So I can't just generalize and say Asus is rubbish when it comes to customer service, because it all depends on your retailer as well. MSI I don't really like that much because depending on where you are, but in the UK at least, the nearest distribution center is, I believe, in Poland, and they'll send it to Poland, which is pretty quick, and they usually fix it pretty quick. But the point is, some retailers won't send it straight away because England is United Kingdom is no longer part of the European Union, which means that sending stuff outside of our borders is expensive. There's loads of loads of red tape, there's loads of documents to sign and stuff like that. So what they'll do is they'll wait for loads of returns to accumulate into like a big pallet, then they'll send it. So your returned graphics card may be sitting with your retailer for 2 weeks before they even ship it, and it just takes a hell of a long time. So for that reason alone, I don't buy MSI, because that's my experience. But for me, my best two I would say vendors are Asus and MSI. I think they make the best enthusiast cards. Okay, there's actually a checkpoint around here that I need to activate. So if I die, at least I'll come back here. There's a lot of comments I've missed. Okonoko says he plays with an RTX 5090 at 3 GHz, 4K PG27. Did they fix the Force DLSS quality? Yeah, they fixed that. I actually made a video on that, so you can see they fixed that. They fixed that with the 1.5 update. We're on 1.51 now though. So yeah, you've got good specs, but you probably one of the only people I've seen complain about DLSS4 at 4K using transformer model with in combination with frame gen being blurry. Come on, man. I don't know, man. That's just not my experience. That's all I can say, really. Maybe you just got really, really good eyesight and you can see every single pixel. But for me, this looks great. Okay, here's where I can activate the shrine. And this way I won't have to come back to the refugee camp if I die. I just want to go and fight that really hard boss. That's going to be an interesting fight. I've been Bodida says, I play 4K Cyberpunk path tracing 5090 DLSS balance and I'm pretty happy, especially ray reconstruction. You guys are talking amongst yourselves now. Wuchang4 says, are you interested in an RTX 61 GPU 2 die? Come on, man. I'm not spending over 3K on no graphics card. It's just not happening. At that point, it's not for gaming. Unless that card is making me money on a professional level, I'm not spending more than on 3K on a graphics card. There's absolutely no way. That's just insane. I mean, you keep saying without RTX, and then when I press you on it, you say, oh, in combination with frame gen. Not all parts of the RTX, you know, ecosystem is bad. Ray reconstruction, better than the standard low-ass res reflections that you get in Alan Wake 2. No problem with ray reconstruction in that. Ray reconstruction in Cyberpunk improves the game 100%. DLSS balance mode, great. No one don't have to like frame gen in general. I understand some people don't like it. That's fine, but you can't just be like, oh, RTX is garbage as a general statement. That makes zero sense. You can criticize like aspects of it individually, but most of it actually does improve your experience. And if you feel that way, why the hell are you buying an RTX card? That doesn't even make any sense. You're literally spending all this money for this proprietary technology, but you don't like it. You should have just bought like a 7900 XTX or 9070 XT, and then you wouldn't have that issue. Mark Rebecca says, I really want you to play modded Cyberpunk playthrough. I really wish Cyberpunk will come with a new game plus, but they don't. They refuse to, which is annoying. I might stream Cyberpunk at some point, but I've played that game so much, it's just like I haven't really got an appetite to play it. But yeah, maybe a heavily modded one could be interesting. That's something to think about for the future though. So maybe I'll do that at some point. Maybe when I'm finished with this new game plus. But maybe I'll be streaming something else on to the next, right? So it might be Metal Gear Solid 3 that I end up streaming. So how did I get here? Yeah, I'm going back on myself. So you actually meant to go down. You can download New Game Plus mod and it's really good. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I'll take your word for it. I'll have a look at and see how that looks. If they do have a New Game Plus mod that actually works functionally pretty well, then yeah, I'll check it out. I remember using like a New Game Plus mod early, but all it did was like not really a New Game Plus, but they kind of helped you essentially boost all your stats from the start, gives you loads of money and stuff, and gives you like a few items, but it wasn't really a real New Game Plus. But if they've made a better one, then yeah, I could be interested. Okay. Anyway, let's start exploring this place. I've got a game to complete. This one jumps up, tries to kill me. I'm literally spamming your chat bot here. Man. I'm gonna deal with that thing because it's just gonna end up killing you. I'm getting sick and tired of just flickering. I don't know if you guys have seen the flickering. Maybe it's not coming through on the stream. Maybe it's a capture card issue. I don't know. I gotta check. I'll do that after the stream though. Marco Redeka says, what does New Game Plus transfer? Your progression data, level, street cred, perk points, attributes, value attribute points, relic points, efficiencies, cyberware, capacity shards. No, your level. Okay, that's pretty awesome actually. I remember when I tried the early New Game Plus mod, Phantom Liberty wasn't even out, so relic points weren't even a thing. So yeah, this is probably a new one that I've never tried before. Okay, we got company. Let's go. Also your vehicle garage, apart from a few vehicles, Jackie's Ark, Demagoon, your wardrobes, clothing store, your equipment, X outfits. Yeah, that sounds like pretty much a New Game Plus to me. You know what, you've intrigued me now. I'm gonna have to check it out. At least I won't have any issues modding that game. I've got a GOG version of it, no DRM. Okay, slowly gonna make my way through this woods till I get to that boss, which is an interesting boss fight. I'll be able to call the old man to help me as well, so it should be interesting. Abhinav Leader says, "Bang for buck. I think you missed my previous question to you. Did Wuchang fix for forced DLSS quality but advertise?" Yeah, I said yes, they fixed it, and I even made a video proving it. That's fixed as of update 1.5. That's no longer an issue. So you can use DLAA properly now if you wish, but honestly I just find using DLSS quality. It uses less power and it looks pretty much the same. So it's like I got so used to using it, I couldn't even bother to put it back to DLAA. I hate that enemy. All it does is jump on you. I don't want to use up too much of my mana blast until I get to the end of this place. Alright, let's keep going. I don't know if this is forward or backwards. I'm hoping I'm going the right way. I think I am. Yeah.
Still on my tail, yeah? Taste my blade! This is for my fallen brethren!
Easy work.
General.
No, it's not that simple. Literally, it's in the name, RTX. Why would you buy a brand of GPUs if you knowingly don't like the ecosystem? If you don't like anything about RTX, then why spend your money on it? It's all proprietary tech. That's what you're paying for. If you want to play it native, skip all of the RTX stuff and buy the best Rasta AMD card you can. You know, you save yourself money. No RTX features to worry about. You know, maybe I'm sounding crazy, but it doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. Okay, where to go now? I think there's some shortcuts I can make. I made one just now. I'm sure there's a few more I can make. I think there's a few ladders I can kick down. You don't want to travel too quick in this place though, because you end up getting lost. But I'm going back on myself now. I just want to grab this stuff while I'm here though. You just hate one combination. So then why not just say you do? You keep saying RTX, that's the whole ecosystem. So let's be clear about what you're saying. I think I'm going in the right direction now. I think if you get this thing, you end up falling down anyway. But I'm curious as to what it is. Maybe you gotta go from above and drop down onto it. I don't know if I can. Brilliant feather. No, it doesn't break. But I ended up dying anyway, which sucks. Pavazos says, where did you get your 5090 from? I got mine from a UK retailer called overclockers.co.uk. And that's when they were like in stock for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and then they were just gone. So you had to be very, very quick to get it. But now they're in stock everywhere now. You can even get discounts now. I think my card is like £200 cheaper than it was when I bought it now. So it's even cheaper now. Man, these damn things are blighting me to death. All right. Come on, give me a chance, will you? I may even need to equip blight medicine on myself. It's just blight, it's just wreaking havoc. Anyway. Let's go back and get my red mercury that I dropped and also continue from where I left off. Abhinav says, I wish they add hardware lumen and DLSS4 reconstruction in UE5 games easily, or there's something like DLSS swapper easily that puts software to hardware lumen. I mean, yeah, it would be nice if they had a hardware option. I think that should be mandatory. Like all this software lumen stuff is nice, but give us the option. I think it's only fair. Mokinoko says, I bought mine from the MSI website. 5090 went down in price. It has. I think Nvidia officially has dropped the price by 7% in Europe. So you should find them cheaper now. But yeah, the 50 series, man, I got mixed feelings about it. I like it, of course, because of the performance. Like, does everything I need it to do. But the issues with the black screen, the melting power cables, the availability was shocking at launch. You know, kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. But luckily, I've had a 3090, a 3090 Ti, a 4090, now 5090, and I've never had a melted cable once. I've used adapters. I've now got a power supply that has a PCI Gen 5 16 pin built in, so I don't have to use the adapter anymore. So far so good. So, you know, I really wish they can get to the bottom of this melted connector issue. Now, I read something interesting today as well. Like, someone was using an ASRock Taichi 9070 XT. For those who don't know, those cards draw about 363 watt if you push the power limit to its maximum. So it's not a very, very power hungry card. But the person who owns it still ended up getting burnt PCIe Gen 5 16 pin cable, burnt connectors, burnt cable. So I see all these people undervolting their 5090 saying, look, you've got to undervolt it, that's the only way to run it, or you're going to burn your cables. Well, it seems even if you're using 363 watt, that's still enough to burn your graphics card and burn those cables. So at this point, it just seems like if you're unlucky, your cable will burn. If you're lucky, you won't have any issues. It's really, I don't think there's a definitive answer to why those cables just fail. So it's a bit of a messed up and flawed design, in my opinion. Okay, I got my red mercury back. I got a whole level up that I can spend, so I'll be looking forward to using that as soon as I get the chance. These guys can be pretty dangerous. Just gonna get ready for this fight. And now. Yeah, two of these guys at the same time are pretty menacing, but I know it was going to be a hard fight, so dealt with them. Now I'll try not to fall off this time, because this is where I died, around here somewhere. Just trying to get that stupid thing off that ledge. So you got multiple choice here. I knocked down this for the shortcut. And you can also go this way. I'm going to go this way first. See where this takes me. People think 50 watt less will prevent from burning. Reddit sub is full of that. It really doesn't matter. I remember seeing a 5080 burn as well. Those cards will do about 450 watt if you allow them to with the power limit. Like something like an Asus TUF or ROG. Do they do that Astral for the 5080s? I'm not sure. I think they do. Those can do like 500 watt, I think. So it doesn't matter. You can save 100 watt doing undervolting on a 600 watt card. Guess what? Still get a burnt cable. Just if you're lucky or not. So I get everyone asking me, aren't you worried that your cables are gonna burn? My answer to that is, oh no, I'm gonna die. Just about escaped there. I need to use these. I need to have that as a quick select item. I'm never gonna make it through this place. Okay, so yeah, I always get people asking, aren't you worried about your cable burning? And honestly, I'm not worried. I just play it and hope for the best. There's no point in living in fear. It's either gonna burn or it's not, I think. And if it does burn, then my warranty will take care of it. Marco Redecker says, have you tried Life Leech Temperance buff? That's what I use. That's what I have. Oh, can't you see the red blood dripping? That's what I use. That's part of my build. But I only, because you only get like 3 charges of the Temperance, I don't use it often. Only when I'm fighting bosses and difficult enemies. Let's keep going. I want to die in this place. Right, I need to go and kill that thing. That's basically allowing you to go mad. Just... I've been able to, I'm scared of melting. Yeah, everyone's scared of having a damaged GPU. But honestly, sorry about that. Someone decided to drive past my house in their Lamborghini and wanted to rev it really loud. Yeah, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna be kind of out of your control. As long as you've put in your connector correctly, after that, just hope for the best. There's not really much you can do after that. Obviously, don't do nothing dumb like put in a 1000-watt BIOS and be drawing crazy amounts of power draw, more than the, you know, the card's officially spec to handle. Then that would be your fault. Then that would be silly. But if you're running it within spec and you've installed the cable correctly, there's really not much more you can do after that.
My nation, God.
Sorry guys, I've been missing loads of comments on Twitch. I do apologize. Let me see now. Alex Badar says, which game trailer do you like at the Gamescom opening night? I really didn't watch Gamescom, to be honest. I think it was the other Souls type game, Zero something. It looks really cool. I think that was my favorite one. One and only Ripper says, the problem with cable is basically the amp power distribution among cables. If the cable is faulty and the power ends up flowing through one pin, that's where the problem will happen. In the end, at the end of the day, as long as you have your warranty and your card is unmodded, then let it burn. Yeah, basically that's it. I mean, try not to have a faulty power supply. Try not to not install your card properly.
I shall fight till my last
Then
breath.
everything else is in the hands of luck.
That monster, my inner demon, it's nearby. I can feel its presence. Your timing is impeccable. Come, let us slay that fiend together.
Yeah, we're gonna go and fight that feather boss, which is kind of a hard boss, but I think I'm strong enough to take care of it. Limited Frames, welcome to the channel. Says, W channel, I have a 4090 Asus Strix and love it. Not scared at all. That's the spirit. That is the way. That is the mindset to have. There really is nothing you can do. Just hope that your warranty or your retailer covers it. Obviously, I think even people that had like right angled cable mods, 16 pin connectors, either cable mod refunded them or it just got resolved. So I think in most cases they're so used to it now that they don't even give you too much hassle. You may in some cases need to send your power supply off with your card, and they may even replace your power supply too. So, you know, some retailers are very generous, so all depends. But luckily for me, it hasn't happened to me, so I'm happy with that at least. Okinoko says, unplugging it to verify is dumb and increases the risk. Yeah, if you excessively connect and reconnect, then you do probably increase your chances of damaging that connector. I think when the connector first came out, it said it was only good for a certain amount of installations. I'm not going to put that to the test. I think it's robust enough. to survive a general lifetime of, you know, someone having a graphics card and moving it around maybe 7 or 8 times from different PCs and motherboards. But if you're like a reviewer and you've had it for years and you've changed it every single time you want to make a comparison video, you might be one of those guys that need to worry about that kind of thing. But I think general use, I don't think it would be a problem. Right, die already.
Child, how did you come to be here? A few days ago, I went to the woods in search of herbs, but I came upon a bird-like monster, seizing people from every direction. These weary bones could not outrun them. They dragged me hither amidst their foul nests. This must be their wretched den. Those who were caught alongside me have been devoured one by one. I fear my turn shall soon come. Child, my days are numbered. That bird-like monster lurks nearby. Do not fret for me. Flee while you still can.
Yeah, we're gonna have that good boss fight. Alex Badar over at Twitch says, I really like the trailer for the new Black Myth Zhuang Ku and the Lords of the Fallen 2. Yeah, Lords of the Fallen 2 looked awesome. I never looked at the new Black Myth game. I need to check that out. Honestly, as much as I follow hardware and tech, sometimes I don't have time to review all the trailers and stuff in real time. I do always go back and check when I get the chance. Usually when I'm scrolling on X or something, it will come through on my feed anyway. But yeah, I think when we're getting into Q3, Q4 of the year, that's when all the games are coming out, all the announcements for the 2026 games. So it's looking pretty exciting. And yeah, looking forward to playing some of these games. If you're a Souls type fan, there's so many games coming out. I think this franchise or this genre is kind of going to be a bit oversaturated in the next year or so, because there's going to be too many games to choose from. Okay, I need to make this shortcut quickly. What's going on over here? Alright, let's go back. I think I can go back down to the... Actually, no, there's another save point around here somewhere, actually. Avazor says, I want for 5090, but 3K is a lot. Even if I sell my 4090, I'm still paying 1K. That's crazy. Should have sold it before the 5090 launch or just a little bit after, because we would have got the most money at that point. There was a lot of people, especially in America, that were able to sell their 4090 for the same price they bought it for, or even more, depending on the situation. And they basically only had to pay 200 or 300 extra to get their 5090. So yeah, sometimes if you wait too long, you end up in a worse position. You guys are both down. I think I've already dropped that ladder. Corsair says, sorry, increase all PS5 version price by 50. Yeah, Sony did. Yeah, I saw that. Not like I care, but yeah, I'd noticed that. Maybe it's got something to do with the tariffs that are changing. Everyone's kind of adjusting things. Inflation plays a part too. Over on Twitch, the Run Rolly Ripper says, based on what I saw, almost 85% of upcoming games is Souls-like. I had a terrible loss from my 4090. I basically sold it a week or so before the 5090 launch and for just 1,400 euros, while the Astral ended up costing me 3,300. That is insane, bro. You essentially, like, even if you got twice as much for your 4090, you would have still been out another 500 euro. So yeah, crazy amount yet to spend. Hey, you got your card though, man. You got your card at the end of the day. Obviously you just have to take that one on the chin, but you got your card, so you got it a lot earlier than a lot of people, myself included. I had to wait. I did end up getting a pallet for the meantime, but I was able to return that because in the UK you get 14 days, and if you return it within 14 days, providing you haven't like defaced it or broken it, they have to take it back. There's nothing they can do. So what I did was I bought the pallet, kept it for as long as I possibly could, and then I got rid of it. And then luckily a 5090 Tough OC became available. I cancelled my Astral OC pre-order. And what annoyed me was if I just waited like another week and a half, I would have got my Astral, because the retailer got a big like stock delivery. But I just wanted my damn card, man. So yeah, very bad launch. I wish Nvidia could do better next time. I just think it's suicide to launch your card around the Chinese New Year when their factory shut down. That's just the most stupid thing to do, especially when most of your cards are assembled in China. You're gonna launch your product in the Chinese New Year. That is like beyond stupid. So it's their fault, really. Vox4 says, bang, do you think Intel can come back versus AMD versus TSMC? Nope, I don't think they can. They are going to make their own version of a 3D Vcache CPU. I think that's Lunar Lake. It might be Panther Lake or Lunar Lake. I'm not too sure. One of them's laptop only. So I'm not saying they're not capable of making something good. I just think it's going to be one step forward for Intel, and because AMD is going to come with Medusa, which is meant to be amazing, all of that good work they're going to do is just going to be too late, because AMD are going to move forward and then Nvidia and Intel are just going to be catching up. So it'll be interesting to see how good Intel. I think Intel want to get rid of hyperthreading completely. That's their plan. So let's see what happens there. A lot of things are going on. They're doing a lot of staff. They're cutting a lot of staff. They're in trouble, Intel, to be honest. They're not doing that well financially. They thought they were too big to fall, and they got complacent. They were selling us quad-core CPUs with hyperthreading and making a killing for too many years. Zen came out. Threadripper came out. Intel mocked AMD, saying you glued your CPUs together. Now Threadripper completely just killed their HEDT high-end desktop range. No one buys high-end desktop range from Intel, or not too many people, just because of the efficiency reasons. Ryzen just completely crushes them in efficiency and performance. There's literally no point to buy a high-end desktop from an Intel platform unless there's like a compatibility issue or something with software you use or whatever. So yeah, I don't think it looks good for Intel. I think it's going to be years before Intel catch AMD, because you know AMD are just killing it right now with the CPUs. Missing some comments now. Abhinav says, I want pragmata. We want new genres. I'm tired of pure souls like third person shooters for FPS. It's always good when someone makes a new IP. It's very risky though. Not everyone's gonna like it, but pragmata does look interesting. But yeah, I appreciate like the fact that we're getting some new stuff, which is nice to see. Seems like Capcom's fully embracing Nvidia. Their games are launching with like the full RTX suite, like with DLSS, multi-frame gen, maybe even ray reconstruction. So Capcom fully on the RTX bandwagon now. I don't know what that means for AMD, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure there's like another boss I'm meant to fight. At least there's like a glowing red eye enemy I'm meant to fight around here somewhere. Aorus says, haven't gotten back into Wuchang since the issues at launch. Is it still stuttery after updates? Only a little bit, like, it's typical Unreal Engine stuff. Once it caches everything, it plays really, really smooth. Providing you don't keep changing your drivers every 5 minutes, you should be fine. Alex Barr says, let's hope that Nvidia doesn't release graphics cards with 2 X12 high volt power connectors. Well, there are things like the Galax Hall of Fame or whatever it is that has it, but that's not your typical graphics card. Those are for people that do liquid nitrogen, world record stuff. So they will be out in a while. They're just not going to be like available to everyone. This is the wrong place. I'm going the wrong way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate the shrine nearby. I'm going to activate the shortcuts by knocking down those trees. And then I'm going to fight the boss and hopefully I'll win. So. What are these two guys up to? I think this takes me close to the boss now. What I want to do is go and activate the shrine, spend my red mercury essence and replenish all my stuff, then fight the boss. And then I'm going to make sure I put the bone whistle in my shortcuts tab so I can call the old man once I've gotten her to her, not second phase, but at least 50% health, because I want him to be part of the fight. What is going on over here? So if I go down here, I can fight the boss, but I don't want to go down there yet. If I go over here, I should be able to get to a save point close by, I think. Let's see. Where did I come from? Because I don't want to fight that boss without using that checkpoint. It'll just be suicide because I've got too many red mercury. Too much red mercury to waste. You don't need him to be in the fight. I just want him to be part of the fight. He's pretty cool. Plus he serves as like a decoy. I don't really need him to do damage. I just need him to take the pressure off of me. I'm probably strong enough to do it without him, but what I do is, because I want him to survive, I like get the boss down to like 50% health, blow the bone whistle. She then starts fighting him, and then I can kind of just sneak attack and do critical hits when her back's turned and do the obliterate attack and just take her out, really. And then like he thanks you for being part of the fight, and then he goes to the tomb. You go and talk to him and he says we'll see each other later, and then obviously once you beat the main boss you go back to him at the end, and then you lot have that fight. That fight was too easy for me though. I killed him really, really easy. But it's one of the best fights in the game apparently. I don't think so. Sorry, trying to catch up with comments over on Twitch. One and Only Ripper says the Asus Matrix is supposed to support 200 watt over motherboards, PCIe, effectively advertising its 800 watt card. Yeah, so you're going to need a special type of motherboard for that. Those motherboards that have the connectors at the back of the PCB, so that you have the cableless aesthetic, those are the motherboards that are going to provide the extra 200 watts. So up to 800. Also goes on to say, not that it matters, honestly, the card is air cooled. Matrix cards aren't even binned. Asus insanity. Can't wait to see type of apparently you're not even going to be able to buy them. They're going to be like, basically you have to win competitions to get them. There's only going to be like 1500 made or something like that, so they're going to be limited edition as Matrix GPUs are always. Apparently, you know, when you said it's not binned, but apparently they're going to have 300 megahertz above stock 5090, so there is going to be at least a hefty factory overclock on them. Whether or not that's got anything to do with binning, it's going to at least be able to do plus 300 megahertz on the core out the box, so that's something at least. Okay, how do I get, I'm basically trying to find that shrine. It's nearby. You basically push down a log. I think I need to run across that log. You push down a tree, you run across, and then you get to the shrine. You activate the shrine, and then you can push down another log, and then you can get straight to the boss. That's what I'm trying to do, but somehow I've got lost somehow. I'm not too sure what's going on. Marco Rebecca says, oh, I thought you meant you had to be, you meant he had to be in the fight because of his quest. No, you don't necessarily. I don't know, because that's the only way I've played it. Maybe something different happens if you make him to be part of the fight. I just thought it'd be pretty cool to bring him in the fight this time round. I did it last time because I absolutely needed him in that fight because she was so strong, but I feel like I'm strong enough to deal with her without him. So yeah, I think there's meant to be like a log. There's meant to be like a log or something that you can run across, but I don't think I've pushed it down this time. So I need to find my way. Over without the log. Yeah, so you got to push it over, and then you can activate the shrine. So this is what I was looking for. Yeah, speak to her. So the last time she asked you like a weird question and I answered correctly, like in a good way. This time I want to answer different and I want to see what happens. So I'm just going to use all of my Red Mercury stuff, so maybe I can upgrade twice. What the hell happened there? Hell just happened there? Did I just discard that? Oh, hell no. I don't know what just happened there, man. It's like I just discarded those two somehow. Didn't even see me get anything for that. Ah, that annoyed the hell out of me. And on this game, if you discard something, it doesn't even just, it's just not on the floor for you to pick up. Not sure what happened there. That is just ridiculous. I can't believe that this happened. Ready on AMD benchmark says, please show RTSS overlay. No, I'm not going to show the RTSS overlay. It's too obstructive. This is all you guys are going to get while I'm live streaming. It's not about benchmarking, it's about playing the game. I'm facilitating those who are curious of how the game is running. This is more than sufficient. Okay, we're good. Okay, at least I was able to get 2 levels up. That's good. Let's rest up now. Abhinav says, why does Nvidia show VRAM usage? I like Nvidia. It doesn't show VRAM. I like Nvidia overlay. It's so light, but it doesn't show VRAM. AMD shows VRAM. Hey, you know, maybe that's something you can put into the AMD, the Nvidia app. I think it's got a feedback tab. Maybe you can ask for that. Maybe they'll do it. I'm not too sure.
The downfall of mortals is the primordial deity's punishment. The fact that you're still standing means you're chosen. Either way, I was sent here by the primordial deity himself. Yet, the people remain blind to his will. Their ignorance has led to nothing but war and suffering. Tell me, if sacrificing the worthless could save the world, would you do it?
This time I'm going to say, yeah, I agree.
Good. Then follow my words, and I'll use that resolve to help lift your curse.
Divine blessing, so that's what you get for doing that. I never got that last time. Okay, so we're going to have this fight. I don't need this. Don't think I need this. I definitely don't need that. I don't need this while I'm fighting her. I just need something for stamina. I don't even have the +1 of that, which is strange. See what else I've got. Increases the element build-up attacks. Increases your potency spells. Not interesting. Damage taken. Increases stamina recovery speed, but increases damage taken. That's not good enough. Increases your weapon slash attack power, but increases damage taken. It's not really a fair trade. Increases the power of your weapon. So can you actually use the +1 pendants and the normal one? No, yeah, it disables the plus. The original, okay, makes sense. I'm just going to use the Nameless Eye. Slightly reduces damage taken, so ultimately you just get more defense. I'm also going to change to something that can resist a bit more damage, because I'm outside of places where I can get poisoned. So I'm just going to use Ming Armor. That's got like high damage resistance. Oh. Engraves. Okay, let's change a few things. I think we're good. Okay, let's have a look at my shortcuts. Let's change a few things here too. This can go, don't need that. So what I'll do is I'll put in that. I'll run out of HP, but you never know. What else can I use? I think that is about it, to be honest. Maybe something for stamina. Okay, pretty much ready to fight now. Let's go and do this. So if I remember correctly, you knock over the tree that goes this way, you can basically go and fight the boss. There's a tree that takes you directly there. It's backwards. I think it's over here actually. No, it's not that one. Oh, you gotta knock it over from the other side. Man, that sucks, man. Okay. I'll find my way back over there somehow. Yeah, there's... Usually you knock over that tree from the other side and it basically makes this massive shortcut for you. There's another way to get there. Poison swamp area behind the shrine. Where does this take me? Oh, I know where this takes me. It takes me all the way back. Don't need to go this way. Find my way to this boss. It's nearby. Just need to find a way to get there. Where does this take me? Go down here. Just gonna stay out of this one. Let these guys kill each other. I'm not interested. Alright, this thing's after me now. Let's go somewhere a little bit safer to fight. Okay, let's have this fight now. Since you fancy it so much, since you're following me, who am I to let you down? Okay, that's been dealt with. Alright, should be able to kick over the tree around here. Well, hopefully at least. Let's double check over here. Where does this take me? Not something I haven't used yet, so that's fine. Heading in the right direction though. Actually, no, I'm going back on myself because I'm going back into... This goes back to the poison place, doesn't it? Pretty sure it does. Yeah, you don't want to come here. This is not where you want to be. Okay, so I need to go behind the shrine according to one and only Ripper. So I'm going to go back to the shrine then. Have a look around. Must have missed that. Yeah, those things, if you're not careful, those things will kill you. Just having a look around. Where does this take me? Okay, so speak to the lady. She tells you about the bird woman. That's fine. Kick down the ladder. And that creates another shortcut. And you can kill this thing, which is a hell of annoying, but I don't really care about it. Not one of these guys. Come on, let's do this. Come on, I'm waiting. tried to poison me, didn't quite work out for you. Yeah, this place is a bit confusing at times as well. Once you've like unlocked all the shortcuts and stuff, it's not that bad, but when you get here fresh, it's annoying as hell. Okay. So where is this boss? If you go across here, you end up going to... Pretty sure this takes you to the... tomb. Pretty sure this takes you to the tomb. And you don't need to be going there. Yeah, this takes you to the tomb. It's not where I want to go. Whoa, almost killed myself. This is where I ran down earlier. And this is how I got here. So let's see what's over here. These guys are going at it. Man, I feel like I'm going around in circles. I've already seen these guys. Okay, so let's have a look at my options. I kill these two guys. Can't go past there because of the wall. You climb up the ladder. And then you're meant to be on like this winding branch that brings you down to the boss, and then you should be able to fight it. And then obviously if you go to the top, you should be able to push down the tree to create that shortcut. But so yeah, you're basically, this is where the boss is now. So you go down here and you should be able to fight it. You run down this winding branch. You can basically fight the boss. The last time around, I didn't want to fight the boss because I had too much red mercury on me. This time, I can fight it, but I just want to activate the shortcut. That's the only thing. So I need to find where the shortcut is first, because I want to kick down that branch, because if I do die to this thing, I don't want to have to run all the way back. That will just be a pain in the ass. So let's find that. Where is that branch I can push? It's not here. It's meant to be like a big branch you can kick down. Maybe I've gone the wrong way. What am I missing? I know it's around here somewhere. Both places lead to the same place. You go over here. What do you get for your troubles? Here it is. So stupid. So yeah, now that I've kicked over this branch, creates this nice shortcut, so if you do die to the boss, you can kind of come back. I need to replenish my stuff anyway, so I'm going to do that now. Let's see if I can beat the boss first time. Okay, I fancy my chances. I'm gonna let's equip the bone whistle rather than this. Just to call call the old man when I need him. Man, I got a lot of red mercury now just for being stuck. But see if I got a golden beak. Crimson. The golden one at least lets you keep it if you die, but guess I don't. Okay, this should be interesting. Let's get ready for this fight.
The wheel of fate turns beyond our eyes. In this timeless illusion, where does our true path lie?
Guess we're gonna find out, aren't we?
At last! You've come before me. I shall cleanse all! Be gone! I shall cleanse all!
Come on, lady.
Stars. A winged mortal. Let us test thy work. Starfall! Be gone!
Come on, woman. Let's go.
Rage and drown the heavens!
Alright, let the old man get involved now. Create a bit of a distraction. Wait for that water attack to go.
Heaven's stars.
Let's go.
Arc and shadow.
Come on, old man. Let's get this girl.
Starfall! Arc and shadow.
There you go, bitch. I got you now. Alright, beat your ass. Me and the old man did it. Got it done.
Your sufferings have been avenged. May you rest in peace, brothers.
So he goes back to the tomb. You can go and talk to him, but you can't fight him yet. But it's kind of cool having him in there for the fight. That's what I thought. But anyway, let's go back to the save point. No, this isn't the right way. I think it's the other way. Really needs a nerf that bloodsucker build there. No, you got to be able to use it right, but it's a good build, man. What am I doing? Basically down here, you run across and lose too much health. Okay, let's rest up. I don't want to rest up actually because the old man will disappear. So I'm just gonna level up, should I say. Getting pretty tough now though. Anyway guys, I think I'll leave it there. Want to thank everyone for tuning in. Appreciate everyone getting involved in the discussion. Of course, if you're new, consider subscribing. Follow me on all my socials. Link is in the description to my Twitter, my TikTok, on my Twitch as well. I'll be happy if you follow over there. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow, maybe I'll stream on Sunday. I'm not too sure. All depends on what's going on. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next stream.